Sarvadharmastapakatvam sarvadharmaswarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste and pranam. And we continue listening to Sri Ramakrishna's teachings to this wonderful gathering. And Sri Ramakrishna once again, telling Prana Krishna, his beloved devotee, who is following the Vedantic tradition. He is telling him that, no, it is just don't follow the formless aspect of the God. My Divine Mother also has the forms. She appears in so many various different forms. She gives the vision in different forms. And then Sri Ramakrishna had spoken about his own visions. And what makes these visions possible? When one gets into that attitude of total surrender, complete surrender to the lotus feet, then one starts gaining this understanding. Sri Ramakrishna says one should have that attitude of, I am the machine, you are the operator. Sri Ramakrishna himself, he had this attitude. I am the machine, you are the operator. I work as you make me work. I speak as you make me speak. I do as you make me do. I am just the puppet, you are the puppeteer. And then Sri Ramakrishna says that such a person having realized the God, having had the visions of the Divine Mother, he becomes childlike. He gains the nature of the child, totally devoid of egotism, totally devoid of that arrogance of me and mine. Like a child, free from the influence of any of the three gunas, the sattva, rajas, tamas. Like the God himself, he is free from sattva, rajas, tamas. Like a child plays with his toys, creates something, some wonderful structure it will create from the toys, and next moment the child will kick it and break it down. Sri Ramakrishna says, God also in the same way. He is busy playing with his toy in creation, preservation and destruction of this entire creation. That is God's play. It's like child's play. So Sri Ramakrishna is he is explaining the intricacies of these spiritual truths through these very simple examples. And now Sri Ramakrishna says that, again pointing to Prana Krishna, Brahman and Shakti are inseparable. Now the followers of the Vedanta, they don't believe in Shakti. They say only Brahma is Satya, everything else is false. They negate even the existence of Shakti. And Sri Ramakrishna is pointing to Prana Krishna that Brahman and Shakti are inseparable. Unless you accept Shakti, you will find the whole universe is unreal. If you don't accept Shakti, then there is no creation. But in reality, does it happen so? Simply saying, I am Brahman, we are living in the midst of our family, we are living in the midst of our social circle. We cannot just say, oh, I don't have this family is just a kind of some dream like. We have our families, we have our spouses, we have our parents, we have our children, we have our friends, we have our acquaintances. Now all these things we just cannot negate with the attitude of Aham Brahmosmi till we have not left the body consciousness. If we are devoid of body consciousness, then everything is only the Brahman. But with this body consciousness, we have to accept Shakti, we have to accept her creation, we have to accept this entire universe. What is a universe for us? Our house, our family, our friends, our society, that is our universe. So we have to accept it, Sri Ramakrishna says. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, he gives a very beautiful example of creating the image of Goddess Durga. The world stands solid because of primordial energy. Because the primordial energy stands behind this creation. This world, this universe is existing. Remove that primordial energy, nothing is there then. So Sri Ramakrishna gives an example of creation of Durga image. If there is no supporting pole, no framework can be made, and without framework, there can be no beautiful image of Durga. Now, when they create the image of Durga for worshipping Durga during the the festival of the Durga worship, Durga Puja, first they create a supporting pole, the basic supporting pole. On that supporting pole, they will create a framework. On that framework, they will put up with the clay. They will put up the organs, the different forms of Mother Durga. The face, the hands, the 10 feet, the 10-armed Durga with that structure of that trident killing that demon who is lying at the feet. So all this is possible because there is a framework. And why framework is possible? Because of the supporting pole. If supporting pole is not there, you cannot create an image of Durga, Sri Ramakrishna says. And who is the supporting pole of this entire creation? Ma Shakti, Adya Shakti, the Mahashakti. Shakti of the Brahman is the supporting pole of this creation. So Sri Ramakrishna says that one should not negate Shakti till the time one has this body consciousness. And then Sri Ramakrishna says that this attitude can be had. One can start accepting this spiritual truth only when one is free from desires. When one is free from worldliness. Sri Ramakrishna says, without giving up worldliness, a man cannot awaken his spiritual consciousness. To understand all these things, one must awaken spiritual consciousness. Now, how can spiritual consciousness be awakened? Only by getting rid of the worldliness, only by getting rid of the attachment to the worldly enjoyments. Then the spiritual consciousness ignites, and then one can understand all the spiritual intricacies, how the supporting pole is needed to create the framework, and how on that framework the beautiful image of Durga is created. Then Sri Ramakrishna says that the more you advance towards God, as the spiritual consciousness awakens, as we move towards God, as we get better and better understanding, as you move advance towards God, the less you will see His glories and grandeur. As one starts going towards God, we start the glories and the grandeur of the God, they start diminishing. The aspirant at first has a vision of the goddess with 10 arms. Now Sri Ramakrishna is giving, he has just not spoken to us about goddess, the image of goddess Durga. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, initially, during the initial phase of devotion, the aspirant, the devotee, sees the form of 10-armed Durga. Such a beautiful image. And starts worshipping that image in all the formal, with all the formal rituals like the Vaidhi Bhakti. As his devotion progresses, as his love for the goddess Durga progresses, the form of 10-armed vanishes. Then remains the form of the deity with the 2 arms. Then it is just a simple arm. Maybe just the form of Saraswati or the form of Lakshmi, all those 10 arms. 10 arms holding 10 different weapons and 10 different missiles. All that fierceness has gone. Now it is the loving image of my mother, filled with love, filled with affection, filled with compassion, and looking at me. Now she doesn't have those 10 the fierce arms with the weapons and missiles. Now she is just the image with the 2 arms. Now I can relate to her like my own mother. I need not get awed by her 10-armed form. Now she's just a simple mother for me, just 2 arms, just like my mother. And Sri Ramakrishna says that as the devotee further progresses, then even that form with 2 arms gets changed. Now it is just a small boy. Now it is the form of Gopala. Gopala doesn't have, it is a tiny baby, toddler. And what is Gopala has in his hand? No arms, no discus, no lotus, nothing. This Gopala in his hand is just carrying a small bowl of butter. Now see the transformation, all that grandeur, all that grand features are getting changed as the devotee progresses forward and forward on the spiritual path from 10-armed to 2-armed. And now the stage has come where the devotee is nothing but Gopala, the small child, so loving, so affectionate. You just feel like going and picking the child in your arms and smiling at you with that bewitching smile, with that ball of butter in his hand, as if saying, do you want this? So that is the kind of progress that happens with the spiritual aspirant. Sri Ramakrishna says that it is the form of a tender child, and beyond that there are other visions also. Then slowly all these visions keep on transforming, and finally what is left? When the spirit, the aspirant, when the devotee reaches the ultimate state, the aspirant then sees only light. There is nothing but enlightenment. There is nothing but illumination. Like the illumination when the heart comes, the mind comes at the anahata chakra. That is the first sight of light for the devotee. First sight of light when the mind comes to the stage of plane of heart, to the anahata chakra. And the devotee is wonderstruck and just starts exclaiming, what is this? What is this? So that is the spiritual progress that one attains. Sri Ramakrishna says that from the mighty 10-armed goddess to the god or goddess with just 2 arms, and then a small child. Then maybe that small child, Gopala, also transforms. And finally, there is nothing but light. That is the ultimate realization. That is the ultimate enlightenment. That is the ultimate illumination. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.